Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us, we have the 2023 Lexus NX350 F Sport handling, finished off in atomic silver. MSRP is just over $55,000. So we have a below average price for a brand new vehicle from a luxury brand that gives you a lot of goodies. Underneath the hood, this is powered by a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It is paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission, and this pumps out 275 horsepower, 315 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,000-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. It has a top speed of 127, and for fuel economy, you're looking at 22 miles per gallon in the city and 28 out on the highway. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, being the F Sport package, it's going to provide it with some of the gloss black accents that you see, including the full surround for that hourglass grille. We have the forward sensor for the adaptive cruise, camera, all of the parking sensors, and of course this gets LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, even LED fog lights tucked up in the lower section of more of the gloss black. Plenty of cutouts to provide a lot of cooling to that engine, and we have a very nice two-tone design and some nice lines that curve down the hood, especially just above that Lexus badge. So it gives it a pretty sporty look, especially being the F Sport model. Now that is the same on non-F Sport models, but it still gives it a great look. Now the F Sport package also provides it with these 20-inch wheels that are gloss black. It provides it with the adaptive suspension as well as the F Sport dampeners. We have the F Sport badge, gloss black for a lot of the trim. It's on the power folding side mirrors, which have the camera and turn signal. It's on a part of the roof here with that full moon roof. It's on the roof racks and the surround for the window trim. And this has some really nice lines that run down the side. Fender arches have a great look to it. There's some lines in the lower section, middle of the door, and in the back section here. I think it has a very nice roof line meeting the back very nicely. And as we finish up in the rear, this has the body colored spoiler with the third brake light, wiper blade in the lower section, LED taillights with the light bar that runs right through that power lift gate, backup camera with all the sensors, and some more of the trim accents are in that lower section. Now this also has a towing capacity right around 2,000 pounds, pretty adequate for this style and a luxury SUV, but if you have some smaller trailers, you can hook them up if needed. Now you can use the button on the key fob or the one as you just saw, and surprisingly this has a lot of space behind that back seat. There's a storage pocket on that driver's side, it goes out on that passenger side, and check this out, look at the amount of space that you have underneath the floor. You can fit groceries, large bags, anything that you want to put out of the way, and then you still have the rest of the cargo space. Now you can also fold down the back seats. You can remove this as needed. It folds in half, which makes it easier to store, and you can put in a lot more items if you need to. Now what I love about this vehicle is that you can lock and unlock it from the back door handles, and all of the door handles are fixed. So the electronic button is on the back side, so you don't actually pull the door handle like some other vehicles. Now this model has the two-tone red leather seats, which matches this exterior very nicely. We have that two-tone on the door panel. We have the electronic button to get out. If you need to, if the battery dies, you can pull on this twice in the opposite direction, and that will allow you to get out. A little bit of space underneath, and we have a cool trim piece just behind that speaker. Now at 5'10", I have a good amount of space with a spider right there. And I have a good amount of space. We have storage pockets behind both front seats, air vents, and some auxiliaries down below where you can charge electronics. Right in the middle is the armrest with 2 cup holders if you need to use that. And while we have a pretty bulky pillar there, it's actually easy to see in all directions. And we have the moonroof up top to give you a lot more lighting. It doesn't feel claustrophobic in the back, which is of course great. For the door panel up front, we have memory seating adjustments, all the window controls, side mirror adjustments, a little bit more storage in that lower section, and then another look at the two-tone seats. They are automatic, so all those adjustments are down on the side. And let's fire this up. We can go over the rest of the info. Of course, we get the F Sport steering wheel. It's perforated and solid with the red stitching. Now the controls on both sides here, we have the cruise control, lane keeping assist, volume controls. Everything else is identical, so all the arrows and the buttons down below. These actually go up to the head-up display. So if I use the buttons on the right side of the steering wheel, we can look at distance pacing along with the driving assistance mode. If I push on that very bottom button, now we can actually adjust the position of that head-up display and then go through eco meter, look at audio. You can pull up a boost gauge, G-force meter. There's even the gear position and a blank page too. You will also notice that will change on the gauge cluster down below as well. So you can go through that same amount of info, which is nice to see. And then on the left side, if I push on these buttons, we have tuning, Bluetooth, and voice commands. And then we also have audio, mode, and tuning again. Very easy to use those. We have paddle shifters just behind that as well. On the left side, little storage bin. There's also the liftgate release along with the fuel cap release. And then as we work our way to the infotainment system, we have the navigation when you have that paired. There's music, your phone, even different vehicle settings that you can go into. You can look at a lot of the standard safety features and some of these other diagrams, just depending on what you'd like to see. And then there's general settings that you can go through just to configure this the way that you would like to. So not a ton of info, but it's easy to go through. You'll notice too that that's basically the upper 2/3 of the screen. For the lower screen here, there's the heated and ventilated seat controls, heated steering wheel. You can go into your climates and adjust how you would like that. You can also go into some frequently used, your head-up display modes, and some driver assistance controls. And then in the lower section, fan speed, you have auto along with recirc and AC. And if I turn this on, these are the temperature dials for driver and passenger. Power and volume for the radios in the middle. There's your front defroster, your rear and side mirrors. And then 2 air vents are right in the middle. And then tucked away to the left side is the view button. You can use this to get that 360-degree view around your vehicle. So when you hop in it and you just want to double check, you can push on that. Now we have two-tone with the red leather going right down the middle, where there's the sport mode or the drive mode button. You have Eco, Sport S, and Sport S Plus, and then pushing on it is for normal. So nice to have a few different settings. Wireless charging is to the right of that. However, you can also open that up where you get another auxiliary and even more storage space. 2 cup holders on that right side. And then let's put this into reverse, where there's the backup camera. You have 2 different angles and then the guidelines that you can change as needed. And then if we go into drive and push on the view button, you get the forward-facing camera with a few different angles and the guidelines too. So very nice to see that. If you're in drive, go straight back. That allows you to use the paddle shifters, and then park, just push on that button. Now behind that, there's the auto hold, traction control, an off-road setting, the auto start stop, downhill assist, and the e-brake. For the center console, it actually opens up both ways. You have a good amount of storage, as well as in the glove box, which is nice. And then up top, we do have a camera located at the back of the vehicle. So you get a little bit more visibility. If you have some people in the back, you want to see around them, just simply flip this up. There's also a sunglass holder located just behind that. And then we have the controls for that sunshade and the sunroof itself. And as far as visibility goes, it is pretty easy to see over both shoulders. And from second gear, here we go. And we're up to speed. But like I mentioned earlier, it has a good peppy engine to it to get up and move. But now that we're cruising, we can pop it into eco mode, put it back into drive, and just enjoy being behind the wheel of this $55,000 Lexus. I forgot to show earlier, we do have the camera system in the rear view mirror, which a lot of vehicles are coming with. I think it's very beneficial. It adds to the visibility with those pillars like I showed earlier. It's slightly bulky. I have plenty of visibility though right now, even with those headrests up. But if I want a little bit more, I can flip up that camera system. So we have a good bit of technology for this price without it going overboard, which is nice to see. And it's very, very nice to drive. Now with the driving modes, I mentioned that earlier, especially when we did that quick acceleration. The driving modes don't affect the suspension, but it does give you a better throttle response, which is nice. Yeah, it doesn't affect the suspension from what I can briefly tell here. But it is nice that you have that just depending on how you're driving this for the day. But that suspension is so comfortable. And as far as the user interface with everything, As I've been driving this for a couple days, everything is super easy to use. The layout is very nice. I like that this massive screen is angled towards the driver slightly. So, and then when we have the camera system, we can see other objects if we need a little bit more visibility. But everything is right at your fingertips, very easy to use and control. And it would make for an incredible daily driver. It's a little bit tight maybe for the row behind me, but you have an ample amount of space for the size of this vehicle. It's not the largest SUV in the Lexus lineup, but it offers a good bit of space for its size. So if you're not looking for a large vehicle, but you still want it to have usability, this is definitely a perfect option to go with. And of course, you can spec it as you would like to. If you're not a fan of red, you can go with some other colors too. So you have a lot of different options that you can go with for this vehicle, just depending on your price and what you're looking to get out of it. But let's go ahead and do one more acceleration. We'll put it into Sport S Plus, and here we go. Back up to the speed limit, and there we go. But that's going to wrap it up for the 2023 Lexus NX350 F Sport handling. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Give it a huge thumbs up if you did, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.